if you're considering buying a plumbing franchise, and listen very carefully, because some of the challenges are the high startup costs that it requires to buy a franchise in the home service industry. So this typically ranges anywhere between $30,000 and $100,000 or more just to get started. And then usually there's some sort of a royalty charge between 6 and 10% every year that you have to pay. The second thing that we found is that in the home services industry, especially, is you're going to get outpriced in your market. And what I mean by that is oftentimes these franchises go off of a rate sheet that you are required to actually charge that, meaning you're not even competitive in some of your markets, especially in these rural areas and rural communities. So you might go get some basic jobs and you might be able to go quote some things and, get some very simple projects completed. However, in these more complex jobs that range between $5,000 and $25,000, or in some cases in commercial space more, it becomes very challenging to have to do that and be competitive against some of these other markets. There's no way possible that a franchisor could possibly know the pricing and keep up with that in every single market throughout America and the world. It's just not possible. And so you know your local market better than anybody else. And so what we've done is we've actually created a licensing model where you can use our name, our likeness, and we do all of the marketing and lead generation for you and for the business. Now, this is the biggest key component today because, as you probably know, today customers come typically from the internet and particularly Google Maps. And so we have been online for the last 15 plus years, generating tens of thousands of leads, teaching people in more than 50 countries, speaking on stages all over the world, and speaking to tens of thousands of people from all over the world, teaching them the importance of social media, internet marketing, and more importantly, lead generation for their business. And we've had great success doing that. Now we're applying that to our own companies and brands as opposed to doing it for other individuals or individual companies. Now we're actually building our own brands. We're looking for people that we can build a brand with. In this case, we're talking about Poopy Plumber franchise, or like a franchise, not an actual franchise, but a licensing agreement. And basically, again, where we do the marketing, we build the brand, we create the memorable content as well as vehicle wraps. You can see polos, hats, and other garments, as well as other marketing materials and business cards that you actually can use and utilize right away. Because the thing that you have to realize, now I've driven down the street all over America and I've seen all sorts of home service brands and stuff like that. Typically it's John Smith or James Smith or whoever, and it's not really a memorable name that I'm gonna go, oh yeah, I saw this plumbing vehicle down the street, driving down the street. I don't remember what their phone number was. I don't remember what their name was. But now we have a memorable name and brand that you can use and leverage, especially the social media. So Poopy Plumbers, of course, is based off of the poop emoji that everyone uses today. It's a fun, playful type of brand, but it's very serious. So what we have in place is the ability to generate leads and customers, both on the residential side as well as the commercial business side. And we need plumbers, basically, to go fulfill these contracts and these potential leads that we have in all areas across America, Canada, and some parts of Europe as well. So if you're a plumber or you're looking for a plumbing type franchise, consider talking with us and scheduling a call, because there's some things that we can do in your market and marketplace for a very low startup cost, where we can actually dominate the competition within your area and within your market. And so I'm looking for, and we're looking for, folks that we can work with to create a long-term relationship and to really build this brand of in the plumbing space to be the recognized number one go-to place. Now, I think that you'll find with the millennials out there today now all buying homes, this is the 30 to 40-year-old, that whole area, late 20s to early 40s, that group now buying homes and being homeowners. These are the people who use technology. So being that I'm in that age group myself, and a lot of the folks that I work with are here within my agency are as well, we understand this technology. We understand the communication methodologies today of where these people are, and also, how to convert them into actual customers, and more importantly, what they expect. You'll see here on our website some of the various things here, the differences between us. We offer and provide mobile-friendly websites. We can manage all the social media. And of course, we are really in key here with promoting and getting you in the top 3 spots all across your city for everything plumbing related. Now, again, I mentioned some of these things earlier. The traditional plumbing franchise model, there's a huge startup cost in between 30 and 100 grand. That doesn't include your lead generation. They also tell you what to charge, as I mentioned before. A lot of times, again, they have revenue sharing models. So you might only net between 8 and 10% of your revenue. So you do the math and figure out how much volume you have to do for your needs to fulfill or fit, your income goals. And then, of course, they have all these ongoing fees that they charge you. With our model, which is a licensing model, there's very low cost to get started. We provide all the web, all the lead gen. It's your business. You keep all the money. Okay. So there's complete freedom. Now, isn't that why you got involved in creating your business to begin with? Is to create the freedom and independence that you deserve. I know that's why we did. And so we want to obviously pass that on to you. We're not looking to handcuff anybody. Obviously, we have basic rules to follow, but we don't tell you what to charge. We don't tell you how to run the business. And that kind of gives you an overview of that. So again, we create all the marketing materials here. You can see, so from vehicle wraps, we have that from, polos, hats, business cards, stationery to write on, all of that stuff we have already created. And so that's just a matter of getting that out to you so that you can use that and immediately go to building the brand with us. We can generate leads and customers within as little as 48 to 72 hours, depending upon where you are and what we're doing with you in this regard. And all you have to do is on our website here, go down to the bottom here and fill out your name and information, hit the Get Started button, schedule a call with us. We'd love to send you a copy of our book, Local Marketing Domination. It's about how to generate between 10 and 50 new customers every month on autopilot. Again, my background training tens of thousands of people in more than 50 countries all over the world, being the head of national sales for a large company with large distribution in 50 countries as well. And the thing that I'll tell you that I've found is there's some very key things that we can do to separate yourself from everybody else in your local market. There are certain things, especially that this millennial group and the younger generation expects from you and from a business to create a level of transparency and trust. And that's kind of the key thing today, using and leveraging the internet, of course, with the COVID-19 pandemic of 2020. It even just shows more why it's more critical and important to take over the internet in your area and in your space. And there's things that we can do that no one else is really doing in this space in the local market, as well as the plumbing market industry, that I can show you and that we're deploying right now today. We can deploy for you as a brand ambassador and partner with us. So if this makes sense, if you're interested in a low cost, low startup, plumbing type business, plumbing franchise type business, in this case, again, a licensing agreement, fill out the information on the website here below. We would love to discuss this with you, see if we have a good fit. Again, this is not for everybody. We're interviewing and vetting you just as much as you're interviewing and vetting us. So we'd love to talk to you, see if it's a good fit. And we will show you some of the key components that we have in place and how we can take over your local market.